All right, so the engine is starting to come together. So now I need to put together the left crankcase cover because this has all the pieces so that I can set the timing. And the timing's important because I need to get the intake and exhaust camshafts in the correct orientation, right? They need to be lined up and they need to be lined up with the crankshaft. So we have to make sure that the chains and everything are in the correct position. They're on the correct sprockets. Now I got to go through all my bags of other things and hopefully I have all the core components, but we'll see as we go through the rest of it. So on the left crankcase cover, so underneath, we have the starter clutch. The starter actually slides in right here, and then we have the starter clutch gear. These have a couple round pieces of metal that only allow this starter gear to move in one direction. And if you do pull this sprocket out of this gear, then you have to open this up and fit it back in. So I wanted to make sure that I had all the pieces before I put this back together, and I think this is correct. So I'm going to knock this back in. All right, until it stops. There's a starter gear, so I'll lube this up as well. And then we run it in like this, and then this goes back. So this is the gear that the starter will sit into. So next we need to get the ignition advancer installed. So this has a little piece of metal, and this matches up with the crankshaft so that we know where the crankshaft is and where the pistons are. So I'm going to slide this in. All right, so something I noticed while looking at the crankshaft, there's a little chunk of metal that's been taken out. I don't think it's going to affect the timing because I think this side is correct and the engine spins in this direction. So this is more important than this side. So I think we're good, just something that I need to keep in mind. More surprises as we're working on this. We'll get this advancer lined up, make sure it's seated properly, which it is. And then we will screw in this. So this fits in like that. All right, and then it looks like that is a 12 millimeter. I'll tighten this down. And I'll grab the other side of the engine and I'll hold it so I can tighten this down. All right, so that's tight. This should be set properly. Now, next thing that we'll need to install is this cover. We don't actually need to install it. I'm just going to use this little window here. And one of the things that I am realizing is both of these cables are cut on this ignition here. So I'm gonna have to buy another set of these, and this cable hopefully will come with it. I'm gonna have to double check the part number. That's a little frustrating, but that's the way it goes. So I'm going to, let's just hold this up. Let's see if we can get this in here until I get top dead center, which should be there. So I'm looking down into cylinder 1 and I can see that 1 and 4 are up at the top. So you can see as you're looking through that little window, you can see that that arrow is pointing to the top of 1 and 4. Right, so now that cylinder 1 and 4 are at top dead center, we're going to install the valve buckets and shims. This is a new set of valves, so it really doesn't matter the order that these go on because I'm going to have to update the shims anyway. So I'll get them seated and then I'll be able to put the cams on. Now, these were pretty dirty when I went through these the last time. I'm gonna go through and clean each one of these because I don't want to have any debris under here that could affect these readings. So I need to check inside the bucket as well as under the shim. And it would be good to go through and actually measure the shims while I'm doing this So I know the size of each shim. So if I need to go grab a different one, I know where to pull them from. All right, so I'll remove the shim. And then some of them have the measurement written on the back, right? This one says 250. So I'll measure just to confirm, and then I will clean up this bucket to make sure we don't have any debris or anything in there. And then to verify, it's a 250. We'll do this. Then yeah, we have 249, so 250. So I'll put that number face down. I'll put a little bit of oil on this bucket just to make it easy to get out. And then I will slide this down like that. All right, 14 more to go. All right, all the buckets and shims are in place. There were a couple that had a little bit of damage. There was one that was pretty difficult to get in, but I have all of the ranges here. So I measured each one so I can see where they are. And then once I get the camshafts on, then I can actually check to see if any of them are within spec, and if they're not, then I'll have to go and either buy new shims or swap shims, depending on what these values are. Next, I'm going to set the chain up on this exhaust sprocket. I'm going to drape it over the end, and then I'm going to get this larger chain set up, and I need to align these two marks here and here so that they are flush like that. So I'm going to remove this wire that I've used to keep this chain up, and I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees. I'm going to add grease to each one of these. All right, so we're going to insert the cam from the left side. All right, there we go. All right, so now that the exhaust cam is in, I need to spin it until we're back at top dead center. And then we need to make sure that the lobes are pointing towards the spark plugs, which they are. All right, next I need to install cam caps A and E loosely. So it goes A, B, C, D, E. This I don't think has a letter. This is for the tack drive. So something else that I've been doing is going through and replacing these dowel pins. A lot of the dowel pins that were originally in here were stuck, jammed, and that can prevent the caps from screwing down properly. So we want to make sure that they're not damaged and that they move very easily. And then E is going to go there. And then A is going to go right here. And then I also need to make sure I'm using the correct size bolts here, because there are longer ones for certain positions. So I'm going to hand tighten these. We do not want to cross thread these. That will take us down another path of repair that we don't want. So I'm going to leave that right there. And then I'm going to screw down these bolts. All right, so now we need to set the timing of the exhaust cam with the exhaust sprocket. So once we have top dead center set up for cylinder 1 and 4, where they're at the highest position, they will line up with the little arrow down here. And then what you're supposed to do is on this sprocket, there is dots on both sides. You need to make sure that they are lined up with the top of the cylinder head. If they're not, you need to pull the exhaust cam down and rotate the chain forwards or backwards. So you can see here, when you look down, you can see we are right in line with this dot. So we're in a good spot. So what we need to do is, the screw hole is not lined up with the cam, so we're going to rotate the wrench just a little bit so that we can get the holes to line up, and then we will screw this in hand tight. We're not torquing it down yet. All right, now that this bolt is essentially finger tight, that'll hold this in place. I'm gonna pull this out, and then I'm going to rotate this counterclockwise, holding the chain. Well, I can't rotate it counterclockwise, so we're going clockwise. And then I need to make certain I'm not going to drop this bolt in the engine. So I've got a rag there. Let's see if I can get that in. So I'm going to use a 10mm wrench. All right, we're going to try rotating this again. So I want to fully screw in this other screw. All right, we should be good. Yeah, there was probably something weird with the threads, but both of them I was able to get torque down. I just had to use this little flexible adapter. Next, we're going to tighten down the bolts on the bearing caps. And I'm always worried about stripping these, or snapping these, because I've snapped 2 of them before. So this says we're supposed to torque in a crisscross pattern in 2 to 3 stages to the final torque of 12 to 16 Newton meters. I'm going to do it to 8 starting out. So these are not even fully seated. All right, that was able to tighten down. All right, that one was not able to tighten down. All right, so this is incredibly frustrating because I'm making good progress, right? I got the camshafts back on, but 4 of these bolts are stripped. So they are not going to tighten anymore, which means the bolts are going to rattle out. The cam covers are not going to stay on. I mean, they're all over the place, right? So I went through and I marked, these are all stripped. So somebody who's a poor mechanic would just drill these out with the head still on, let all the metal shavings fall to the bottom of the head, and let them just cycle through the engine. What I'm going to do, and the right thing to do, is to take the head off, drill, fix all of these, buy a new head gasket, because there's a gasket between the head and the cylinder block. And once you torque these 12 bolts down, then it creates a seal up against the gasket so that you don't leak. And if you loosen those and then re-torque, it's going to be in a different position, and there's a good chance that you're going to have oil leaking out of the engine. So I went and bought another $70 gasket that I'm going to have to use for this. I'm going to have to undo all of this work, remove all of the nuts, and then I'm going to have to drill out each one of the stripped bolts and then install thread inserts, or a helicoil is the brand name. Unfortunately, there's still another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I haven't even tested yet. So there could be more issues there. So I should have done this before I put the head on. I was just a little excited. Unfortunately, it's going to take more time, effort, and a little more money. But I want to make sure that this engine is done properly, right? I want to get it back into a spot where it's running more reliably than it has over the last, couple decades. So that's what I'm going to do, even though it takes a little more effort. But you live and you learn. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to get notifications when I release new videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Take care.